Hello, everyone.
Hi.
Welcome, welcome. We're so glad to see you here.
Hi, everybody.
Yes, here's Terry and Jean helping me through my very first live broadcast. There's been a lot of hand holding behind the scenes here, but thank you all for coming. Epiphany and Juno, who is now Junosphere. I don't know.
Here.
Yes, because Juno had her first guest appearance on Danny Shay's show yesterday, reading cards, and she did a fabulous job. And Danny made her commit to starting her own channel by the end of June. So
Oh my goodness.
Junosphere is going to be her new channel. So congratulations, Juno. We all knew you could do it, and we're looking forward to more. And thank you to Purple Elephant, Deb H, for coming. It's just really, really exciting. Oh, good. Juno said it was so much fun. And let's see, while I kind of blunder through and put some banners and things up, Terry, tell us about your week. What have you been up to?
Well, this week has been really more of a 3D week, but my brother came, and in 2 days we put a covered porch up
Wow.
with clear panels, so I can sit out there even if it's raining. I can shoot shows out there even if it's raining or snowing or whatever. So
That's great.
And I also have some good readings coming up, and I bought my banner today, Jean.
Oh, great. Congratulations.
Yeah. So this is a really interesting week because I'm kind of making little teeny leaps ahead for Kigaroo, for me, for my porch.
Now, a banner like a logo for your channel?
No, I am going to go to a metaphysical fair, and I've already bought a booth.
Oh,
And last
wonderful.
time I said I was going to do that, and this time I didn't. I decided I'm not saying anything till I've already bought it. I bought it about a month ago, but now I have created a suite of graphics and made this huge, like 8-foot pop-up banner that can go behind my booth that says, Kigaroo Spiritual Journeys, and has pretty art on it that is Jean approved. So I think it's pretty.
Jean has good taste, so she would know. And Jean, what have you been up to? And what's coming up for you?
Well, I have Kevin the Healing Medium is coming on my show for tomorrow at noon Eastern. It's a little early, but we like to get a jump start on things. And it's was my schedule. I needed to start at 12 noon, and that is 9 Pacific. And then after that, I'll be on my friend's Shane's channel at 3 p.m. And he is unbiased and on the fence. And I do a monthly show with him, which is just lovely. It's really really a lot of fun. And then I have lots of things to do on Sunday. It's a packed weekend. I'm looking forward to it. Yeah.
Perfect.
That reminds me. I forgot that I'm going to be on Ron's channel tomorrow night, and on Sunday with Dozen Cats, Kelly.
Great.
Wow.
All kinds of things happening.
Yeah.
That's so much fun.
And we invite everyone to put questions in the chat and put them in all caps. Oh, thank you, Lee. I'll go through and select them, and we'll start in a little bit. We were talking beforehand about maybe a couple things we could chat about as people come in. And one of them that I wanted to discuss, because I'd like to know your answers to it, is what kind of objects do you have around you when you're doing a reading or when you're doing a live? Do you have certain things that you just must have within arm's reach? Terry, what do you think? Can you tell us about it?
Yes, I have to have a pen and a piece of paper nearby. That's the absolute gotta have. Because who knows what's, I might want to jot down my sitter's questions. I might learn something that I need to write down. I always have something to drink. So even right now, some water, because I'm going to talk more than I normally do in a day.
That makes sense.
But then I have to have oracle cards, because the way I read is I pray in, like we probably all do. I pray beforehand and meditate, but then with my sitter, I pray in, I put us in protection. But I'm a rather fast prayer. And so I then pull oracle cards for them to help me get deeper. So I don't interpret the oracle cards. They can ask questions of the oracle cards, or they can let it ride, let them just talk to them. But they need to have a pen and paper to note down whatever questions they ask, because that's not going to get caught on the video. And they don't have to tell me what they asked, and I won't interpret the cards for them. It's just, I'm just the card thrower, and somehow that prays me in. So I just need my oracle cards, some water, some paper and pencil, and I'm good to go.
That's a great way to kind of get started with the oracle cards and a question. That makes a lot of sense. Gina, how about you? Do you have certain things you would like to have around you, or certain rituals pre-reading?
Absolutely. I'd love to light a candle. Let me see if I can pick this up and show you guys how beautiful that is. So I always light a candle, and I usually like to have my clearing bell so I can clear in between questions, or in between clients, and then I have this little roll-on kind of essential oil, it's sort of like, has like a incense smell, or like a temple smell, or like a very, very magical, mystical smell. And it really just sets me in the mood. And you saw me, like I put it on my hand and then I go, it's on my nose, so that I can keep smelling it throughout the whole time. I won't roll it on my nose, but it's just been something I've always done. And I love the scent, and the scent, I'm very susceptible to smells and sounds. If you can, and sight. But I guess I'm just like getting all my clairs prepared, my smell, my sight, my sound, and preparing my heart as well. And I love to hold on to my crystals, and let me see. And sometimes I have a singing bowl here that really does clear the energy. And this was a gift from a coworker at my job who doesn't even know that I do this.
Wow.
You
were meant to have that, for sure.
Isn't that amazing? Yeah. And they brought it from the country. The origin is from Nepal, and her mother brought it with her.
Wow.
I also, and this is my famous labradorite. This is the biggest thing I've ever bought, and labradorite is definitely my stone, and something that really connects with me. It really helps me to center myself and connect with spirit. So I like to keep this nearby as well. And I could go on, but I don't want to monopolize the whole show.
That's
But
okay.
I did want to mention, I totally omitted. I totally forgot that to mention that I would be on Allie's show, Heart and Soul Connected, on Sunday morning, and that's 1 p.m. Eastern and 10 a.m. Pacific, and it's Heart and Soul Connected, Allie Martin, and it's a wonderful show that we do every Sunday. Most Sundays, about three out of 4 Sundays a month, we get together, and it's just magical. Allie is where we all started, and she is. I'm indebted to her very, very big time, and I just love being in her energy. It's very, very magical. She's very wise and kind and generous soul.
She is amazing in so many ways. Talk about someone who can get a lot of things done. And to be able to keep up all of her YouTube things with everything else that's been going on in her life, she's just an example to all of us. Just amazing. Well, thank you. As far as the things I have around, I've got a bell too. And I looked at it more closely the other day, and it's appropriate for me. It's got a heron. The handle is
Oh,
a heron kind of fluffing its feathers. And I've got another one that has kind of a different sound. And I've got the crystals that I hold, a blue apatite and a selenite, and a bunch of other crystals, and got my candle going. And I often will start some, not sage, but Palo Santo. Although I can't do too much of it because sometimes the smoke alarm will go off, and that kind of takes you out of the meditative state. But yeah, I had a session with Jen of Jen's World Tarot, and she suggested to have a big selenite sphere and some amethyst and some labradorite. So I've got those going too. A bunch of other. Here's the big sphere,
wow.
and we'll see if how those work. But yes, and of course paper and pencil, because things come in and flash out pretty quickly. So it's nice to be able to jot things down. Yeah.
They
Well,
certainly do.
yeah.
And Joan, Terry and I would like to congratulate you on your first live. You are such a pro. You've act like you've been doing this for what, months or at least a year now. You're fabulous. Congratulations. Everybody in the chat say
Oh,
congratulations to
thank
Joan
you.
on her first live show. This is
Might be a little
wonderful.
premature for that, but I've been excited to do it because I feel like I've been just the person that always comes to the dinner party but never hosts herself. So now I feel like I can reciprocate a little bit more. So thank you, everyone. And we have a couple of questions. Let's see if you're ready here. Wow. Oh, I love that people are chit-chatting among themselves. Here is something from Lee. Why am I eating anything that's not tied down? And also am not able to sleep lately. Okay. Let's see what we can do for Lee. I kind of get that you're grounding yourself. And it may be in reaction to all the astrological things that are happening now. The energy is kind of wonky in many ways. So if this has happened just in the past couple of weeks, that might have something to do with it. But even if it isn't about the moon phase or anything like that, I do feel that part of this is a need. The eating is kind of the need to ground yourself. And as the weather warms up, or maybe it's warm where you are, you might be able to be outside more and get your hands in the dirt and find other ways. And that particular way of grounding might be released a little bit. And go ahead. That's kind of what I get.
That's all?
Yeah.
Okay. So I asked my guides to get your guides to come to my stage and asked them what's going on. And they looked a little sheepish, and they kind of kick their foot like, oh, you know how somebody does when they're kind of on the spot. And the not being able to sleep is because they are working with you. It's causing unrest, and they feel a little sheepish that they've disturbed your sleep. You can ask them to not do that, or you can ask them to just kind of slow it down a little, like give me 3 nights of good sleep, and on the 4th you can do whatever you want. That came out wrong, but you know what I mean. The eating part, I think Joan's right that all of this action around you is kind of, it's spiritual work, but it's making your body feel like you're doing body work, like you're physically working, and so your body's a little bit misinterpreting that. And I only heard one. They didn't say they were going to change that at all, but I just heard one bit of advice: drink more hot tea through the day, so that you maybe don't eat, drink some hot tea.
That's good advice.
Yeah.
Well, Lee, I was getting something. It was contradictory, so bear with me. What they're telling me is that there are intense energies on the planet at this time. We're going through changes. We're going through intense weather changes, intense human vibrational evolution type changes. And we all can feel that there is sort of an imbalance going on. And it's almost like we're sort of like teetering or wavering. And like Joan said, that you're grounding in the sense that you're misunderstanding the energy changes in your body as hunger. You're misinterpreting that. And the uneasiness you're trying to soothe with the food, which is also grounding. And they're telling me that with the uneasiness, or the not uneasy, but just the disruption in the energy is not as solid, not as predictable, not as comfortable as we all would like it. There are changes going on in the cosmos. There's changes going on atmospherically. There's changes going on in our energetic bodies, and we're just not feeling as comfortable right now. So please don't understand the uneasiness. I meant to say uncomfortable. And this is what's causing you to seek comfort. And then when you're laying down at night and you're very quiet by laying down and you're very quiet, that uncomfortableness comes up and it keeps you up. So the same thing that you're trying to feed and soothe during the day is what's keeping you up. So the uneasiness I keep saying that, maybe it is uneasiness, but it's just a discomfort that we're feeling because the energies are sort of not in the same balance as they typically are right now. It could be because of the eclipse season. It could be because of the astrological signs. It could be just because of the human evolution and the Gaia's evolution as well. So my recommendation to you, they said sleep during the day. They say sleep during the day. You can't do that. Guides, what do you have for Lee now that we figured out what it might be? They're saying to do some actual grounding, just like what Terri said and Joan, they both said to put your hands in some dirt, to go outside, to do more physical, intentional grounding, maybe do some more meditations to ground, take a salt bath, keep some crystals on you to try and balance the energy that way. But at least we detected kind of what the reason might be, huh?
Yeah, that's great. And let's see. We have a couple of responses here. Leva's saying, yes, waiting for warmer weather. Well, let's see. Show. Well, I will say that she was said, yes, waiting for warmer weather to get out and ground, and that she can't, it's hard to turn her brain off. So yeah, I'm hoping that those are helpful suggestions for you. Okay, let's see who we have next. And it is Ellen G. Can I have a word of, show. Can I have a word of advice or encouragement from my guides?
Hi, Ellen G. That's a nice question.
And I'll let you two ladies go first this time.
I'm seeing flowers, Ellen G. I'm seeing lots of flowers. Surround yourself with plant life. That the energy of plant life is very subtle and very nurturing. If you have even green plants, surround yourself with some plants or some flowers. They're also saying to eat baby plants, baby herbs, and baby lettuces, and new spring vegetables. These are all very gentle, and they're very calming on your energy and revitalizing. That's what I hear from your guides.
Right, right away, they showed me yarn, lots of balls of yarn, in ball form, not skeins, and all sorts of yarn. And as I kind of probed deeper, like, why the yarn? It seems like it's not so much yarn, handwork. They want you to be working with your hands and maybe sitting, working with your hands, doing some little teeny projects that are kind of mindless. You don't have to think. And that is the perfect time for them to talk to you and to you to talk to them. And I feel like there's more about this yarn, but I'm not quite sure what to say about that yarn. But it almost looks like the flowers that Jean's talking about, all sorts of pretty colors. I don't know, maybe it means abundance with all that balls of yarn and so many colors and stuff to do. But I think that's about as far as I can go with that.
That's similar but different, as usual, as what I was seeing. I saw an illustration of a heart that had many, many lines around it, like the many strands or colors, but it was a heart. And the message says, what's this all about, Spirit? And they said, they gave me the impression that you just have so much love to give. And it doesn't have to be romantic love or even one-on-one with a friend. Just when you're going out for a walk, say hi to the trees and kind of shine your light on the flowers. One thing I do is smile at dogs. I'm in the pet-free stage, but it's kind of fun to just sort of send some love out to a dog that's walking by and not like interrupt because they're supposed to be healing and be under their master's care. But a lot of times the dogs will turn around and look at you. And it's so one, anyhow, I won't get into my stories, but that's kind of fun to do. And Spirit told me to tell him about the cards. I walk the same, well, pretty much the same walk quite often, and just have been doing this and admiring people's gardens, especially in the spring, and they're so beautiful that I went on to an online like graphic design place where you can order business cards and you can design your own and you can get them for free if they have the logo on them, just for, pay for shipping. So I made a little one that said, "Thank you for your beautiful garden." And I leave them at places that just have beautiful gardens. And it's especially fun when you see somebody out working in their garden and you can say, I've learned the correct way to do this is to say, "Excuse me, I have something for you." And it's a thank you note. And then they're like, "No, you're not trying to sell me anything." And I say, "It's a thank you for your garden," because I just get so much joy out of it. And people just go ballistic. They're just like, "Oh, thank you so much." I put so much into it. So just little things of sharing your joy and sharing your love. It'll come back to you many, many fold, and I think you will enjoy it because it's just another outlet because you've got so much to give. I hope that helped, Ellen. Let's see.
It's not anything too big or too, monumental. It's just the little things. It's the subtle things. It's just like the flowers behind Joan. We see people in the chat saying how much they love them and how much they're responding to them. It just lifts your spirit just a little bit. And this is what we see that's around you and maybe you can do for yourself as well.
Yes. Let's see. Thank you, Ellen. And here is Mary Thornberry. "Oh, I'm sorry. This is a hard one. I received my dog Ashes back today. His name was Joe. How is he? Any messages from Joe?" Well, first of all, we're so sorry for your loss.
Sorry, Mary.
Those are rough.
It is. Mary, he's telling me he's your brother. I had to look again and make sure what the question was. He's telling me he's your brother. He said he's your brother. He said, tell her I'm her brother. So I'm not sure if you had shared a lifetime with this soul previously or if it was just that kind of family, that one of the family kind of love. I'm sure that the dog was, or Joe was part of the family and one of the family. I guess he felt like he was your brother. He felt like he was part of the family. You just really treated him and included him in everything. I'm just getting the sense that he says, I'm her brother.
And that's amazing, Jean. I see this dog on the stage barking, so hard their front paws go off the front of the ground a little. And he's wagging his he's so happy, such a happy dog. And eventually I had to tell him, That's lovely, but I don't speak dog. Could you please bark it in English to me? And he says, oh, Mary, you're going to love it over here. You're going to absolutely love it over here. It's so good. And I can't, this dog has gone on other lives with you. Absolutely. I just see this long spirit, just like forever, going way back in time. And he says you're going to laugh when you guys meet again over there. You're going to laugh so hard at the plan you guys made. I think Gene's onto something here. You guys are going to have such a laugh when you get back together.
Did you see what Mary said at 3:59, Joan?
No. Oh, my brother passed in 2010. Joe arrived in 2011.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh, Mary.
Wow.
Mary. Wow.
No
Wow.
wonder.
I just, wow.
That gives me chills.
You hit it right on. Oh my word.
I'm not saying that that's exactly the case. I'm saying that something probably around that. Either your brother sent him, or an aspect of your brother was able to come into the dog and share part of your life since he was on the other side, or that he was actually, I mean, who knows? It could be any of the three, but it's definitely something to investigate further.
Yeah.
Wow. I got the dog coming up and nuzzling you, almost like a cat comes up and sort of nuzzles you. And he just said, I just loved being with you. I saw him as a black dog with ears that were a little bit funny, like one was tilted one way and one the other. And then I saw him another way. I heard Semper Fi, always faithful. And then I saw him as a German Shepherd, and just to signify that he was your protector too, and will continue to be so from over there. And let's see, the guard dog saw him as a protector. And then the last thing I got was we were a team, a good team, and the inference is that you will continue to be a good team because he's still in touch and is around you. Thank you for asking that question. That was really fun.
Yeah. Joan, she did reply at 402 for you. She says, but go ahead, I'll let you do it. 402.
Let's see.
I love it. I didn't say it, and you can't claim it afterwards if you don't say it. But I got a golden lab, and you got we got a mix.
Okay, I am not finding it. Okay.
Because
Here
we
we go.
Probably still on the start. Okay, yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
It was like he was a big white cream color, 100-pound lab shepherd. Oh. I saw him as a black lab first, but I didn't want to say it because I didn't want to be tied down. Oh, that's great. Wonderful. Oh, Mary, thank you. And we're, again, sorry for your loss, but I hope it helps knowing that he is definitely still with you. That's great. Okay, now we're going to talk or see what we can find out for Nancy Smith. What do my guides want me to know about my health and finances? Okay, guides. I need the guys with the finance guys at the whiteboard with all the lines that kind of come to me for that. Let's see what we can find.
So Nancy, my guides right away are I chose the first one was your health, and I'm checking on that first, and they're saying don't believe everything you hear. Try not to listen to suggestions that are in the mainstream, sort of like those commercials who say, you know, you know, that you, whatever they say, you have every ailment. I tease my mom because she watches a show, she watches a channel that has all those commercials that, you know, one for diarrhea, one for scalp itch, one for, you know, the other itch, one for, and I tell her, but I just try not to believe everything you hear. And there's a lot of subliminal suggestions out there as far as health. So it's very important that you listen to your own body and fill it and with good thoughts, healthy thoughts, affirmations. They want you to get water in a glass, hold it with both hands, and pray that that energy healing is entered and infused into the water, just like I think Medium Kim just had this on. And think of a color that you feel is a healing color, whatever color that is for you. And think of that healing color going into that water and then drink it. These are things that are absolutely, they out, they out perform everything else because it is from the divine. It is um, a it is a higher vibrational energy. It is divine energy, and it is within our power to heal ourselves and to maintain our own health in through words, through the water, and by filtering out all of those other suggestions. That's what I'm.
So I got for your health, really, I got something that says do the basics. Keep all the basics going. Enough water, enough food, enough exercise, enough, you know, just the very basics. But they also would encourage you to kind of eat more organically. For some reason, organic fruits and vegetables, I think, will help your health a lot. But basically, I know this is a very bland message, but that's what they're saying. Just keep the basics going. And then with the finances, it seems like they're saying this for the whole summer, but they want you to be very conservative with your finances. Don't waste money. Don't throw things around. Be conservative. But what they want you to do is to have joy with what you receive. In other words, don't feel like by being conservative that it's lack, that you're, oh, I'm so, you know, I can't treat myself to anything. They don't want you to feel it. What they want you to do is to just turn that completely around and just thank them out loud, or, you know, thank God or this Holy Spirit out loud. Just, you know, thank you for this. Thank you for that. Because they don't mean for you to slight yourself in any way, shape, or form. They just want you to be careful with your money right now, but to have a lot of joy in that, to just find joy, find any reason to thank them at all. and things will go better. You probably could say the very same thing for health.
I'm getting something similar. Right away, I saw greens, but I saw the image of some, I don't know, spinach or something growing. I saw the leaves from the underside. So it sort of relates to both of what both of you were saying, is kind of look underneath, and maybe at the quality of the food. Maybe it's if someone was saying go on an all spinach diet or something, kind of look into that. Check beneath the surface for it. And then I also saw mushrooms, and again from the underside. And um, they were drawing my attention to the fact that the mushroom caps on the, I have that pattern on the underside. So maybe if there's a pattern of, I don't know, eating good things, just something about a pattern and looking more closely, both at the quality and at your thoughts about the food. Whatever you eat, just like with the water, say, I'm eating this for my highest and best purpose and for my good health. And as far as finances, I checked in, and right away I saw a little drawstring bag, and Spirit went pink, just kind of drew both ends of the drawstring to really to emphasize that, yep, it's time to be a little tight with things. But again, to use your discernment, and whatever you do choose to buy, to enjoy it and be very grateful that you have the finances to do that, and enjoy whatever it is that you're purchasing, whether it's some mushrooms or a book or whatever. So that's what I got. I hope that was helpful. Let's see. Next up is something from Camp Sue. I need to make a choice, self-publish or pursuing a traditional publisher for my oracle cards. Interesting. Let's see what we can get for this. And I'm looking around because I put down my selenite. Oh, here it is. Got it.
I'm not sure I have the right the information. I don't. In fact, I do know that I don't have all the information. But the first thing I heard was, "Why choose? Can't you do both?" Or does the traditional publisher not allow you to have anything else out there? I would say pursue both. Get them started and pursue. Somebody else wants to pick it up, and they just want to make money off of you, but it'll get more out there. It's like a win-win. You need somebody to promote you and get the cards out there. I would do both, but I could be misinformed, and that you may not be able to. I don't know if you can tell me, Camp Sue, if you know if there's a restriction if you go to a traditional publisher. Oh, you can't do both. Okay. All right. Let me see what my pendulum says then.
Right away, what they're kind of showing me, and I don't know how much of an answer this is, but they're showing me the Lilac Lantern, Andrea, and she published oracle cards as well. And I don't exactly know how she did it, but I'm thinking that they are showing me this to encourage you to go whatever route she went. And I think she has some videos about this.
I was kind of thinking the same thing. I think that what Andrea at Lilac Lantern has is somebody that will both print them and then handle the distribution. I checked with my pendulum, and it said no for complete self-publishing and yes for a traditional publisher. But there's big, huge publishing houses, and then there's things like what Andrea was using. So that might be something that's in between. one thing that they brought to mind for me to mention is when you are doing all of it yourself and doing all of the marketing and all of the everything, it can take away that's a different mindset that you're in as compared to the mindset that you need to be in to receive creative inspiration. So if this is going to be a one and done set of oracle cards, either way, but if you think you might want to follow this up with something else and want to spend more of your time focusing on the inspiration that will provide you with the second product, maybe go with someone who would handle more of the marketing and distribution, especially the distribution. Jean, what did your pendulum say?
Actually, my pendulum said yes to try for the traditional publisher, because if you exhaust, at some point you can always self-publish, but try for the traditional. I was surprised about that, because Lilac Lantern, I don't know what she did, so sorry, Camp Sue, but shoot for the stars, right?
Yeah, all they can say is no, and then you still have other options.
Right. And I was going to say, I kind of got a vision as you were talking, Joan, about your head going the wrong way, and they showed me a vision of her on the beach walking, and suddenly finding a bottle with a note in it, and and showing me the loneliness of trying to do it all alone.
Oh,
The how disconnected she might feel. So I kind of agree with you guys. Go with the traditional publisher, and then back your way back down the spectrum.
Yeah, the full, like New York publishing house, whatever it is that Andrea does, because they do distribution, and then the full on self-publishing. And
Yeah.
I hope that was helpful. Okay. Here's Pierrette White. I see energy while driving, and at other times. I had an eye test with the machine that shows white flashing spots. Seeing the energy, would this affect the result? Oh, I've had those tests too. I love those tests. That's a very interesting question. And we're not qualified to answer it because it's sort of medical, but let's give it a try anyhow.
Joan, can you fill me in? I don't know what that is. What's a white spot flashing test?
Oh, that's a vision field test. And
is it a medical thing, or is it a supernatural thing?
It's a medical thing at the doctor's office. You put your head inside this thing that shows little dots, and they give you a plunger. And when you see it on the left side, or when you see one, you hit the plunger. And then they say they can test, because they have the dots coming all throughout your field of vision. They can see whether your field of vision is being distorted or going away. But I've had that test too, and have kind of thought, am I making this up or not? Did I really see it or not? So I can understand that. But let's see what Spirit has to say about this.
So, Pierrette, I was like, oh, I'm going to go deeper, get more messages. And they're like pushing me. They're like, no, we just told you what it was, what to say it. They are encouraging you to speak to your spirit guides and tell them not to do that while you're driving. Because that it's very hard then to tell the difference between, is this something spiritual, or is this something that needs to be taken care of with your eyes? So in addition to Joan's spot test, I've had that test too, but I've also had little pieces of the back of my eyeball come off, and they flash like a silver flash. And so if that's happening, you do need to see your doctor to make sure nothing is going wrong. But the reason I think they're telling me this is because I can pop out of my body really easy under stress, or under I've also gotten too close to another dimension when I was driving, and so my guides, my angel guides, and I have a complete. We have a line like Susan Lynn has a line with her guides and stuff, but we have a line that we don't do anything like that while I'm driving. I only drive when I'm driving, so they are encouraging you to set this line.
That's good, Terri. Really good advice. Well, Pierrette, the only thing that I have is I had an experience the other day when I did mention it once before, but while I was driving as well. So I kind of feel let me just describe it and see if it's anything similar. I thought I saw like a ripple in the dimension somehow. Like it was just clear blue sky and, driving, there's nothing in front of me, no wires, no birds, no nothing, but in the sky, I mean, you know how the heat comes up off of the asphalt and it kind of waves a little bit. You can tell like the energy or the heat is making it wave. Well, sort of like in the middle of the sky, this little spot in the middle of the sky just had like one of those waves in it. And I thought, did I just see something right there? It kind of got distorted. And this is I'm not sure if they're telling me this because I just it is hard to tell whether or not it's something spirit related, energy related, or if it's medical related. For me, I thought for sure it was energy. Um, and I guess it depends on the feeling that you get when you're seeing it. If you feel that kind of like there's a spirit guide close, or I'm getting a message kind of feeling, like if it gives you a thought of this is spirit energy, I think that would probably help determine. But Terry's suggestion is the surefire way to dispel all that.
Yeah, I tuned in and asked the pendulum about whether this condition, oh, I must have turned off the question. Sorry about that. But whether this condition could affect your eye test. And they said yes. And I then asked, did it? Can she and the doctors trust the results of the eye test? And they said yes. So it did not affect the results of the flashy eye test that you took, although that condition, seeing it, if it happened at that time, could. And I asked, it might be a good idea, or I'm sure your eye doctors would tell you if you had a detached retina or even the beginning of one, which causes the flashing too. But I think Terri kind of nailed it as far as telling them, not now, please. Mm-hmm. So I hope that helped. Let's see. I think we have, here's something, a question from Epiphany Noel. What message does my pop or guides have for me at this time that is most important to bring to light?
Aw. Hi, Epiphany Noel. Well, what I'm hearing right away, Epiphany, is that you are a way shower. And that just means you're going to help guide other people. And you have been doing this, and it's sort of like in training for quite some time. And the momentum is really starting to get quickening for you. And all of this is to prepare you to be a way shower.
They were pretty short and sweet with me, Epiphany. They said you are a healer. Right away, my hands started heating up, and said words multimodality came to me. That be open to exploring multiple modes of healing, uh, and and he's just encouraging you and is behind you. Um, and he said, "There's not just one way, and you don't have to do it all at once. But know that you are not just one thing. You are have the ability to do many different things, including many different types of healing."
And they're showing me kind of your energetic body. You kind of look like a flame, sort of, and there's something dark inside you, this little dark nugget. But it's not bad. It's not like they're saying do shadow work, but I suppose that could be part of it. But they're showing me mining. They're mining, and you're mining inside yourself to bring something up. And when you finally find it, it looks a little dark. And then as you mine a little bit, it just suddenly blasts out with this golden light. So I suspect that you have another gift in there that they want you to work on, that they want you to mine. So it might be started as something you're not happy with, like, why do I always do this? And you start to dig into it, looking in your spirit, why, and eventually you rip it open and it becomes something just beautiful and amazing. Maybe another modality, I don't know, but there's something deep inside, still amazing to find.
Wow.
I'm having a hard time distinguishing between starring a potential question and putting one up. So, excuse me, my apologies, Epiphany, but I hope that those messages were helpful for you. It's a joy to read for you. And I think this may be the last one from Karen Robinson.
Hi,
Okay, here
Karen.
goes. I'm going to be that person who asks that question. Am I ever going to meet another man and love him? Yes, that one. So that'll be an interesting one to end on.
I heard trust. And what I think that means is, am I ever going to meet another man and trust him? Trust is a love language. It's just that that they just say trust. We get
Oh,
more.
wow. They just showed me something that gave me chills all the way through my body. They showed me an oyster, and you opened the oyster, and there was a huge pearl. I think you're going to have to interpret that, but I think I know what it means.
What does it mean?
I think it means she's going to find another man, and it's going to be a
Oh,
pearl.
okay.
He's
Well,
going to be deeper.
There's treasure inside. The world's your
exactly.
oyster.
I got that a step further, that don't judge it from the rugged outside. There's judge them from the pearl that's on the inside, that may not be the package that you expect, or the size that you expect, or the age that you expect, but it's the heart, it's the pearl inside, right, Terri? That's what I thought you were
Yeah,
saying.
I got chills everywhere, and then kind of not going away.
Perfect. And what I got was, again, very short and sweet. And the answer was yes, and not just one. And then they showed me you and this man dancing. So it was like the pearl, that one, is going to be a good dancer. And then they showed me the two of you dancing as old people. So the one that's going to be a lasting relationship is going to be a man you'll be dancing together into your old age. So,
whoa.
oh, this was fun. Thank you for the question. And
Yes, you
Spirit,
gave us
thank you
all
for the response.
you gave us all the feels.
Yeah. Well, let's see. What I wanted to kind of wrap things up. If you want to book a reading with Jean or Terri or me, all of our contact information is in the description below this video. And we're all taking readings, and Terri and Jean are all over the place doing all kinds of lives with lots of other people. So just kind of check both of their channels. Links to their channels are also in the description. And I want to thank everybody who came. My apologies, I wasn't able to read all of the everything in the chat, but I'll get better at it. So bear with me for a little while. But thank you so much to everybody who came and everyone who's in the chat, everybody who's lurking, and especially to the people who might watch this later. Because often I'm a lurker or a later person. And we want you to know we're very appreciative of you too. But thanks again for being on my maiden voyage and for all of your help, Terri and Jean.
You did so good.
Thank you very much. Warmest love to everyone. Bye now.
Bye-bye. Thanks for joining us. Good job, Joan.
Yeah.